It just won't ruddy end. How are they doing this? Look, man, I was like, yeah, they've won the Premier League. They didn't really sign anyone last season. And that's why they can buy a Frimpong and, maybe they'll spend a lot of money on Wirtz. And, they've signed a Kirkes as well. Hold on. This is getting silly now. 95 million euros on Hugo Ekitike. It's mad, bro. Madness. I mean, us rival fans can at least be happy it's not Alexander Isak, who I think would have wanted to go to Liverpool. And he would have been an amazing contingency plan for high goal scoring volume, phasing out Mohamed Salah. I'm not sure Ekitike is that guy, but he's a good striker. He makes them better. Oh my word. Here we go. From Fabrizio Romano, Hugo Ekitike. We're going to get into it, friends. My God. Anyway, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Every day I upload on this channel, Football Yannick. So if you're one of those viewers that come back and see me and are yet to subscribe, hey, subscribe. We're doing so well, you and I. We're cultivating a community here. We're building something very special together, and I like it. So do consider subscribing. We're on, at time of recording, 18,858. So that is 142 of 19,000. So we're getting there. Thank you for subscribing. Look, let's talk about this then. Arne Slot, he won the Premier League. He did really well. Well done to Arne Slot in your debut season winning the Premier League. It was good. I'm not going to be one of those people to suggest that, it was a season where all the other teams had an off season. No, but perhaps there's an element of that. They won the league with 84 points. So, not Centurions, but they only needed that. I think they probably could have got more points had they felt threatened, because Arsenal in second place were 10 points behind. 10 point, double digits, mate. I do think genuinely, if more pressure was applied, and if they didn't win the league so early or think they're going to win it soon, they might have squeezed it up closer. Maybe got 90 points. I don't know, maybe, but yeah, it's certainly going to be more competitive next season. I think Arsenal will probably stay from second place. I'm very keen to see what Man City do, man, if they do sort themselves out or if they don't, really. Chelsea will probably be a bit better, you'd hope. Newcastle will be an interesting one because they are champions. Last time they were in the Champions League, they struggled. Obviously, Chelsea haven't been in the Champions League for a couple of years, so you just have to see how they get on. And obviously, the hideous twins down at the bottom of the table, Tottenham and Man United, have got to be better. Tottenham have got a good manager. They've made a good signing in Kudus, and I think they'll be good. I don't know how good they'll be, but they'll be better than 17th place, one place over the relegation zone. I think both Man United signing Mbeumo and signing Cunha to partner with Bruno Fernandes, and of course they're going to probably sign a striker. There was more talks with Nicholas Jackson, which is a story I'll follow probably both here and on the main channel, Football Therapy. But yeah, that makes them better. I think Tottenham just having Thomas Frank, I think he's a great operator. He finished top 10 with Brentford this last campaign, so he can definitely do it with Tottenham. I think they'll both finish top 8, which will put threat to, the likes of Brighton, Forest, Villa, Newcastle, and who knows, maybe Chelsea and others. So it's gonna be a tougher season. Now Liverpool are going from strength to strength. I'll nail my colours to the mast. I didn't make a prediction saying, I think Liverpool aren't going to be good next season. But I did think a little bit even if they keep Salah, that would be great. Obviously, if they lost Salah and Van Dijk as well as Trent, it would have been a bit of a disaster. How did the transition go? Etc. It turns out they kept Van Dijk and Salah. Obviously, the player of most value in Trent, because of his age profile, ended up leaving. But I think that's fine. That's totally fine. So when all this was unknown, I was saying on multiple different media platforms that they could be not great next season. This could have been a really great introductory season for Arne Slot with, I was calling, and many others calling, similar things, like an oven-ready team to just go, just a new voice after Klopp. Your Salah, your Van Dijks, your Alisson and goal, who I think is the best Premier League goalkeeper. All senior players, all like the peak or just about to end their peak, just needed a new voice to be really good. So I thought maybe this following season they weren't going to be good. That's until they spent 300 million in the transfer market. Because they've immediately, I don't want to say upgraded, because prime Trent and Robertson were very good, but they've immediately, very respectably, revived their fullback positions in Kyrgios and Frimpong. Like, that's excellent. That is cash money. Like, two young, really, really good players. I know Kyrgios just had one good season in the Prem, but it was consistent. He looks ready. So yeah, sorted. And of course, Darwin Núñez has never really done it. I know he's been a bit of a chaos merchant, and at times that's helped Liverpool, but I don't think many Liverpool fans would be devastated to see him go, which is a huge indicator of his performance level. And yeah, man, I think the most, we'll speak about Ekitike coming in and replacing him in just a moment, but I think the Florian Wirtz is the most compelling and intriguing. So he is the big one. Obviously 95 million euros, 90 million raising to 95 million euros is the fee for Ekitike being stated by Fabrizio Romano, which is incredible amounts. Remember back in the day when Klopp said, Liverpool aren't the kind of team that would spend 100 million euros on a player, and they did it with Núñez and pretty much now Ekitike, and blew that to smithereens of Florian Wirtz. It's just the way it's going. I think Wirtz is fascinating because it's different. It's different to Liverpool on the slot last season, and it's different to Liverpool in this era, in this last sort of decade, really, because they've played this 4-3-3 heavy metal football under Klopp, flying fullbacks, getting lots of productivity from the width from both the fullbacks and the wingers, and the central part of the pitch, whether that's the midfield three or indeed, you had Roberto Firmino as the false nine. It's like the functionality in the middle and the productivity from the width, like loads of assists and the odd goal from the wingbacks or fullbacks, and loads of goals from the wingers in your, Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah being facilitated by the functionality of the midfield and the creativity and indeed functionality and work rate of a Bobby Firmino. And then obviously moving on from that, it was still a midfield three of function, balance, work rate, defensive stuff, work. It's never been, we've got this mercurial floating creative number 10, which Florian Wirtz is. That's what he is. So it's a switch up. You could say it's a risk because we've not seen him play like that, but obviously the talent is immense. So they feel like Slot will fancy his odds to just capitalize and get value out of an amazing talent on the pitch. But it is a risk in terms of, the optics. He's the Premier League record transfer, beating Moises Caicedo by a couple of million, I think. Going to Chelsea. Of course, they were willing, Liverpool, incidentally, to break the transfer record for Caicedo. They had £111 million bid accepted from Brighton for Caicedo, who at that point, like Romeo Lavia, just wanted to go to Chelsea, but Chelsea had upset Brighton, I think, a little bit in those negotiations, so they had to pay the extra $5 million to go to 116 or 15, whatever it is. Maybe it's extra $4 million, so 115. And to get the deal over the line. But yeah, Liverpool were prepared even then, a couple of years ago, to pay what would it have been, over 120 million euros on a player. And now I think, Florian Wirtz, was it 130 million? Let's just double check. Yeah, so I think it's just $1 million over the 115 of Caicedo, so it's 116. It is the record transfer fee with a base of 100 million and the 16's add-ons. So what is that in euros? Let's just quickly do that in euros. It's basically 134 million euros for Florian Wirtz. 134. So 130. I mean, I don't even know, like, because obviously they're all split up in euros and pounds, but it's so much money, bro. So, like, 134 plus 95 is 229. So, basically 230 for the optics. 230 million euros on Josh Wirtz and Ekitike before you add Kirkies and Frimpong. Yeah, it's over 300 million they've spent. It is... Obviously, they're doing it because they won't be doing it if they were breaking any rules in this landscape of profit and sustainability rules. And of course, we defer back to the situation of last summer. They didn't spend any money. You know, they had a look. Their targets weren't available, so they didn't, spend money. They saved up, and went on to win the Premier League. They didn't get as deep in the Champions League as they would have liked, but they would have got good money from getting to the knockouts, and they would have got good revenue for winning the Premier League, and maybe sign sponsorship deals. I haven't kept up on the marketing and business side of Liverpool, but the revenue's there. Do you know what I mean? And it's lots of money, isn't it? In Ekitike, I don't know if they're gonna sell Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich. I imagine with the tragic loss of Diogo Jota, they can't lose all their forwards. Ekitike, so he's positionally versatile if memory serves. I'm just double checking out. He's being listed as a centre forward here. I know he played obviously with Omar Mamouche in the 2. He's being listed as current market value and transfer marked as 75. It does not surprise me that it's an extra 20 for the transfer, because that's always the way, isn't it? When you use transfer marked valuation. But yeah, he's a great player. He's like, a lot of people compared him to Isak. I've done videos, I think, on this channel before, profile-wise, talking about, like, could he become an Isak type of player over time? Because he's still, he's young. He's 23. That's still a young player. We're so warped into thinking, like, only 17 are young players now. So last season for Eintracht, he got 15 goals in 31 appearances. So that's nearly a goal every other game. It doesn't feel, for 95 million euros. This must be very much a data-led scouting eye test thing, because it's not like he popped off and scored 36 league goals, and then they can command that for him. So and he got eight assists, which is not negligible, is it? Because it's like, especially in a team like Liverpool, there were players like Mohamed Salah being like, serve me up some goals, mate. In the Europa League, he scored 4 goals as well. And the previous campaign, he got 4 goals in 7 appearances. I guess that was his... And PSG, he obviously never really made it at PSG. They bought him after a good season at Rennes, when he scored 10 goals, double digits in 15 appearances. So that was good. That's why PSG bought him. Couldn't make it through at PSG. Ends up going to Frankfurt. And last season scores the 15 goals, which gets everyone's attention. I mean, it's a lot of money, isn't it? He's being linked to Chelsea, and we were speaking about him, and, we were talking about maybe 60 million euros. Fans would be happy about. 95 seems like a lot. But Liverpool mean business. I mean, again, I've got to say it. As a rival fan, I'm thankful that it isn't Alexander Isak, because that would be just ridiculous. But we don't know how good Ekitike is going to be. They're obviously, if you, for example, if Darwin Núñez is sold to Saudi, and say, I don't know how much, even if they just get like 70 million euros, they'll see it as, thank you very much. His wages can go to him. The transfer fee can go towards Ekitike, and we'll see how we get on. But it's going to be like a new Liverpool, man. I think it might be a 4-2-3-1 formation with Wirtz in the 10, the free role. But they just keep spending. It's crazy. It's mad. It's Arne Slot's Liverpool. He signed a 6-year deal until 2031. He only wanted the Liverpool move. Of course, he was also being linked to Newcastle. But yeah, you can understand why he would want Liverpool over Newcastle. You can understand to a degree, with the greatest respect to Toon fans, you could understand why Isak, who currently is a Newcastle player, would prefer Liverpool to Newcastle. Because they're immense. So what, do they have to win the league again? It's such a unique position, because they've won the league comfortably, and then they've had like an unprecedented transfer window. It's almost like if they don't win the league, it will be a disappointment. Like, they would be under par. Because it feels like that, right? 10 points clear last season, and that's with, a cigar hanging out their mouths for the end of the season campaign as well. And they've just done an absolute insane madness in the transfer window. Presumably, yeah, man, it just feels wild, doesn't it? They've got to win the league, surely. They want to win the Champions League as well after having a bit of a disappointing exit in the end in terms of, how things went. But I don't know, man. So intriguing, isn't it? I mean, they're level on titles now at Man United. They've obviously gone, right, we've got the 20, let's do a madness and overtake Man United. And just make sure we do by getting an absolutely insane squad. What do you think, though, guys? Let me know down in the comment section below. How do you feel? How do you think he'll do, Hugo Ekitike? Do you think it's worth it? I think we could all say it's an overspend, but the market kind of is going a bit mental, isn't it? Everyone's getting lots of money for players at the moment. The Premier League spend loads of money on players. It's not always Cole Palmer for 40 million. To be honest, this isn't about Chelsea, but Chelsea's purchases, apart from obviously the midfield men of Enzo and Moises Caicedo, 29 million for your Jacksons and your Noni Maduekes for big profits, selling on to rivals. It's, good scouting. I'm very pleased with my club's business, but this isn't about Chelsea. This is about Liverpool, and to be honest, Liverpool fans will be delighted. They won't care. It's not their money, and their team is getting loads of wicked, exciting footballers. And I must say, even if I'm I'd say worried as a rival, because I don't see Chelsea as an immediate rival to Liverpool. My club's rebuilding, essentially, and we're trying to bridge the gap. But it's fascinating to see how Liverpool will do it again, and how it will work, and how Ekitike will play. Again, thank you for liking and subscribing. Daily content here. Do come back. All right, peace.